Well, hello everyone and good morning. So, you're either really, really tired because you've been up studying either from this book for your ASVAT, maybe even trying to get something for your high school equivalency. Then you got your acuplacer and you got your GED. All right. So when you're going through all these books, you got all the books, you got all the study guides, and look how thick it is. That's what she said. And look all of this. So if anything, you have all these problems, all these math problems, and then you try to solve them. And then guess what? When you solve it, then all of a sudden you get to the other end and you look at the explanation and you have no idea what it's saying. Some of them actually do display some of the information and they'll give you like a pretty decent kind of step by step, but then you haven't seen this math in forever and you don't even know how to break all this stuff down. So, this is what I've been hearing since I've been going live. I've been going live a lot on TikTok because I've been getting a lot of feedback there. And what I keep hearing as an ongoing thing was one, the algebra part of all those exams is really hard. And two, I haven't seen algebra since I was a fetus. And now they're asking me to basically decipher all this stuff so I can pass whatever the ASVAT or the GED or even the TEAS test. And some people are just like, it's impossible. And a lot of people really asked, is there a way that I can get like a course, and they'll try to go to the community college and they're like, all right, cool, there's a course. They're excited and they go there and they have their first lesson and it's like three different concepts that's happening in one teaching session. They're overwhelmed. They don't know what they want to do. And they feel like, you know what? I should give up. Or they might say, you know what, let me try it the next day. I just had to dust myself off. Let me try it the next day. And that's when they're officially overwhelmed and they want to stop. So after hearing these stories for the last few months, I said, you know what, I want to do something different as well as something that's going to be productive. So I came up with this whole summer math course. And the one thing is, I took like all the restrictions or all the concepts that's going to be taught in the GED, that's in the Acuplacer, that's in the ASVAT, and also in the TEAS. And I basically laid it out. And at first, I was going to highlight everything that was in common. And then I noticed there's a lot of things that's in common, especially for the algebra part. Now, if I can sprinkle in a little bit more of the percentages, a little bit more with the dosage calculations for the t-test, and maybe some more situationals as the ASVAT, that's just a tweaking of a couple of things. But when it comes to the heart and soul of the algebra, that means adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing integers, looking at fractions, looking at decimals, learning how to round, how to do percentages, how to do distance, how to do rates, as well as the main algebra components like solving one step, two step, multi step equations, finding the equation of the line, basically finding slope, which slope goes with the parallel and perpendicular lines, graphing, looking at factors, looking at breaking down radicals, knowing what the terminology between a prime number and a composite number. And those are just a little bit of all the stuff that is really being focused in all these examinations. So what I'm doing is I had a course already designed, already situated, right? And what I did was instead of like trying to put it into like four separate things, I'm putting them all together because there's so much stuff that they have in common. And then I realized there's a lot of people that's not going to be sitting here affording a $379 course. Some people can't do it, especially the ones that are going into getting their GED, getting, you have to think about that. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, all right, let me cut it. So then I decided to cut it and I made it into $147. And then I was thinking, well, I could make it an 8-week course, but then I'm just going to be just like everybody else. taking all that information and jamming it in their heads. Like, no one wants that, right? Because that's the reason why they feel a little overwhelmed and just feel like they can't calm their nerves to receive the information so they can apply it. So I was like, all right, I can do 12 weeks and we can do twice a week. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm calculating it. Let's see, okay, this is going to take so much time. This is going to take so much time. And it worked out. So I'm actually developed a 12-week course. I'm excited. Sorry. I've developed a 12-week course in which we're going to see each other twice a week. Now, I understand it's the summer and a lot of you guys are going to be, traveling. You have vacations. You already had your plan situated. So that's why there's always replays. So there's no excuse. You can still get the information. You'll still get a copy of my notes. I'm going to tell you a little bit more in detail. But the whole premise is I'm designing something that's going to be great for you. And now I'm going to do a flash sale because this is the launch, right? I'm launching it this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. So what's happening is I'm dropping it from 147 to 97. And what you'll get, because a lot of people are like, really? Audrey, that seems a little cheap. But I'm like, really? Stop. Think about it. You're basically getting live Zoom calls, not a recording. Like, we're actually going to sit down on a Zoom call and we're going to be breaking things down just like I would do in a classroom. And if you're not used to or ever seen my teaching, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see all of my TikTok lives that I've done since February 2nd. All of that's in there in the playlist. Anybody can watch it. You can binge watch it all you want. If you want to do that instead of take the course, that's fine. But then you're going to have questions. And I know the questions that you're going to ask, and you're going to feel like, I should know that. Stop. If you have the questions, you need some place to ask and to get those questions answered in real time. So in addition to meeting like twice a week, we're basically going to get the replays. So if you miss it, you replay it. Am I going to take attendance? Yes. But am I going to ding you for not showing up for a day? No, you're a human being and you're an adult. Like, get over it, okay? And then we're going to have some practice. You're going to have some homework, but I'm going to respect your time. I'm not going to give more than 10 problems for homework. So you can actually learn the process, see and familiarize yourself with it. That's what I'm really trying to do. I'm not really trying to teach you because it doesn't take 12 weeks to learn all of algebra. You need a whole year plus, okay, to really go at the pace that you need, at the spacing, and especially in an environment that's safe for you to feel comfortable to ask questions. So with all of that, you're going to get your questions answered. The first session, we're going to go right to it. I'm not going to be like, all right, let's meet everybody. We're not going to waste time. We're going to get right to it. And then at the end, there's a good half an hour that you're going to have Q&A. Then the next session, from session 2 on to the last, we're going to start off with Q&A. I want to hear your questions because sometimes your questions and what we're going to do next really ties in. Because the one thing that you need to know about math, it spirals. It always spirals back. So like if you're not doing long division in school now, like if your kids aren't doing long division in school, they're going to struggle later on in Algebra 2 when you have to divide polynomials. You know how I know? Because I'm tutoring. And that's what I tutor a lot about. Okay. And sometimes I literally have to walk them through the long division before I can even get to dividing polynomials. So with that, you're going to get a printed copy of my notes, and I'm going to actually attach that QR code, and I'll tell you, I'll do it like a playlist, and all you have to do is scan the QR code and you will actually get the live replays, just like what I do for my Audrey's notes, okay? So, and then plus I'm going to give you an environment, there's no judgment. Right? There's no judgment whatsoever. So this is going to be something that you can breathe. I'm looking for like people that are going back to school and it's been a minute. Okay. When I say a minute, like I'm talking about like 3 plus. It's been a minute since you've talked about these things. Because if you don't use it, yes, you do. You will lose it. But now you need this. You need to get your GED so you can do some kind of advancement. I spoke to a young lady today and she said, I have plans, but the only thing that's stopping me is this stupid test. And I'm censoring it as best I can. Because it is this stupid test. And it's always, especially when you do the GED, a lot of people think that all the quizzes, like all these, when you look at all the questions, you think that they're marking it exactly the same. Okay, that's 1 point, that's 1 point, that's 1 point. There are some questions that's worth 4 points, 3 points, 2, and 1. So if you're looking at adding, subtracting decimals, depending on how deep it is, it's usually a 1 point question. Adding fractions, 1 point question. But anything dealing with linear, slope, the equation of the line, point slope form, figuring out if a line is parallel or perpendicular, systems of equations, okay, breaking down radicals, volume, that's another thing, volume of a cylinder. Those are 4 point questions. If you can get those 4 point questions and then the basic arithmetic that you should be able to pass the test. But here's my thing. Probably a lot of you guys didn't know that that actually existed. So now when we look at these things, we're trying to break all these concepts down. So I'm starting all the way into the beginning, like the different types of numbers. We got the counting numbers, counting with your digits. You got the whole numbers, the zero plus the counting with your digits, going from there up, then adding and subtracting and multiplying, dividing integers. So we get to know and feel comfortable with the rules of why it's supposed to be positive versus your answer is supposed to be negative. So these are the things that we really have to have those discussions. Because if you don't understand the basics, and then I'll give you suggestions to really get down your multiplication. If you don't understand your multiplication tables, it's going to be hard for you to do any type of math, regardless, because multiplying is just fast addition. So with you understanding that, now you're picking up your speed and now you can simplify fractions. Now you can break down radicals. Now you can figure out what the discriminant is and all those things and above. So when we break all these concepts down, it's going to be a nice solid 12 weeks. Okay. Am I going to push you? Yes. But am I going to push you and not listen to your questions? No. I really want to walk you through this. I really want to show you some of those test taking strategies to help you. Because remember, these tests is different from a test that you have in the classroom. The test in the classroom, they want you to write down every single solitary step. We want to see every step. These type assessments, they want to know yes or no. Which one did you check? Did you check A, B, C, or D? What's my answer? Just tell me what my answer is. I don't really care how you got it. And that's what you have to do. Once you pick an answer, move on. Those like, yes, I got an answer. I knew that answer was that because remember, these are timed assessments, and that's what scares a lot of people. I see that little clock on the top right of the corner, and I see it counting down, and it's freaking me out. Don't worry about the clock. Worry about what you need to do because there's going to be some problems, just like that. Once you click it and you move on, and then I show you strategies and I also help you with your mindset because you can hit that score that you want. If you want to get in an ASVAB and you want to score something above a 45, you can do it. We just have to hit hard on some of those concepts and also change your mindset. That's what I'm here for. So when we're doing all this coursework and you're coming in and you're coming with questions and you're doing the homework assignments and you're just doing the small things, trust me, I'm only going to take 90 minutes per session. Give me an hour and a half. That's all I ask. So when you're looking at it price-wise, all right, this is when a lot of people want to leave. Don't you leave. Okay. So price wise, I know it's kind of backwards for Instagram, but I'll share this video on once I'm done. Um, we're looking at originally it was going to be like 147. So you got 12 weeks of the Zoom call, you get the replays, you get the weekly support. There's no major quizzes. You don't have to worry, don't have to stress. You just have to do what I tell you to do and you will be fine. Okay? Now, if you want extras, like I'm designing a notebook just for this course. So how I want it designed, how I want you to practice working on your notes, you can do all that. Now that's going to be a slight extra cost, but nothing crazy. But what I'm doing right now is I'm chopping it from 147 to 97. This is something that I want people to do. I want people to advance. So originally with the 147, the individual cost per session, 24 sessions, is roughly $6.13. But with me slashing it down to 97, we're looking at $4.04 per session. Seriously, people? If you know of anyone that needs, or they're just like, are always talking about their GED, here's the thing. A lot of the times right now is graduation season. A lot of schools are graduating either next week or some of them already graduated, some of them already walked. And I know for sure there is easily 5 to 7 people in that audience that's looking at their son, their daughter, their granddaughter, their niece, their nephews, and saying to themselves, I wish that was me. And I'm not here to go bleeding heart. I'm just speaking truth because this is what I'm getting from people lately. As soon as I mention this, I'm starting to get people like, I need to get my GED. I really want to do well for the ASVAB because I need to get out of this. Whatever this is, I don't want to know. But I can use my God given gift because I wasn't always bright with math. I don't even know how I became a math teacher. I'm going to be truthful. But because I had that type of past, and I know that how I felt when it came to fractions, I know how I felt when it came to word problems, I can relate. And I think that's what it is. I can relate. So when it comes down to all of this, okay, I'm here to help. So if you know of anyone that's getting their GED or they want to get their ASVAB, maybe they want to become a nurse and get past that TEAS test, or maybe they're going back to community college and they want to score higher on the AccuPlacer, reach out to me. Okay, definitely reach out to me because I really want you guys to do well. So this is where the flash sale is going to come in at 97. $97, $4.04 per session. You can't beat it. All I'm doing is taking out of two days a week, roughly 90 minutes per day. You got the rest of the summer. Okay. You got whatever time or whatever things you want to do. I'm going to be having sessions, and all of this is starting June the 9th. Okay, June 9th, because I'm having a Monday, Wednesday sessions, which are going to be in the morning around 10 a.m. And then a Tuesday, Thursday session, what will be in the evening. I'm looking at around 7 or 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. And all of that is Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So I'm trying to do something that's going to help from East Coast to West Coast and maybe even a little help with Alaska. If anyone down there that wants to do this as well. All right. Excuse me. So, if anything, that's what I'm looking at. Now, if you're just like Audrey, I really love this. I love this idea, but I don't know anybody that needs it. If you want to sponsor someone, because trust me, there's a lot of people that would love to do it, but they don't have the funds. If you would like to sponsor, because this wasn't even in my brain until yesterday when I had a couple of my TikTok soul friends, they just reached out and said, you know what, Audrey, I love this. I don't know anybody, but if you know of anyone, I would love to sponsor a couple people. And then another person said, you know what, I would love to sponsor another person. After I cried for like a good hour because the humanity and the love and appreciation is just immense. It was a lot to take in. And I shouldn't be shocked. But If you do want to sponsor someone, just message me. Go ahead and DM me, message me about that. If you're into this course, please, you can also message as well. You can just respond to, what is it? I always want to say down to the list. You want to respond to the comments. You can just say me in the comments and I will reach out to you and then we'll take it on from that point on. Okay? Because I want to make it simple and easy for you, but at the same time, get ready to do some work. So I really want people to understand that I'm here for you, but at the same time, don't complain when you're like, no one loves me. No one's going to help me. Hello. I'm right here. All right. So that's all I really wanted to just take a moment, just introduce this to you, really put it out there. But again, the flash sale ends at 11:59 on Monday evening. I literally will be like this because as soon as it hits midnight, it's going to switch over to 147. All right. So if you want to take advantage of it, look at your coins, get whatever you can in the couch. If you have questions, go ahead and just message me and we'll get everything all situated and straightened out for you. Okay. So, one, thank you so much for stopping in, spending your Sunday with me. For the people that have just been popping in and popping out, I greatly appreciate it. So, if anything, that is it. So, keep working, keep striving, and please, if you know of anyone that needs help with their GED, the Accuplacer, okay, the ASVAT, and the T's, and they really need help with the algebra, and they have tried almost anything and everything, please share this live with them. Okay, send them my direction. Even if you just say, hey, this person's name is this, can you reach out to them? They've always had trouble with the GED or they always had trouble with algebra. Just let me know. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I will be going live in TikTok at 8:30 tonight for my usual thing. So we're actually going to be just doing some random math problems. So go ahead if you want to see what I do and how I break stuff down. Again, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is basically my name, Audrey Codner, at ACG Math Tutoring. And then go ahead and take a look. And if this is something that you want to do, make sure you sign up and sign up quickly. All right. Take care and have an awesome day.